Today on CityCast Austin, it's time for our Friday News Roundup. I'm here today with Hey Austin newsletter editor Kelsey Bradshaw and executive producer Eva Ruth Moravec to bring you some stories that caught our eye this week. We're going to talk about the top Texas Democrat that effed around and found out, good news for Red River, some good gossip on a person that we all hate, and we're getting into this weekend. It's Friday, November 15th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hey, Kelsey. Hey, Eva Ruth.
Hello.
Hi.
So let's get into this week in news.
Yes.
There's been a lot going on. Eva Ruth, do you want to kick us off?
Oh, sure. Happy to. We're still in the post-election haze here in the U.S., especially here in Texas. And in part of the aftermath of that, there was an interview. KUT reporter Lauren McGahee interviewed Texas Democratic Party Chairman Gilbert Hinojosa. And they were talking about, why Dems did so poorly in this election, especially in Texas. And he said something that kind of pissed some people off, to say it lightly. He said, quote, "You have a choice as a party. You could, for example, you can support transgender rights up and down all the categories where the issue comes up, or you can understand that there's certain things that we just go too far on that a big bulk of our population does not support." So basically saying that, trans rights are something that, caused the party to lose voters here in Texas. And understandably, people here, especially in Austin, had some feelings.
I mean, y'all, I can't. In response to Hinojosa's comments, of course, our queen, Bridget Bandit, posted on Twitter.
It will always be.
It will always be Twitter. Quote, "And just like that, the Texas Dems have admitted that they are not interested in protecting trans people. This is not the answer." And then your boy apologized.
And then he stepped down. Bridget wasn't the only one to come for him. Like, this caused, a lot of issues.
Yeah. His quote is textbook. "Oh, man, I got caught. My bad." He was like, "I extend my sincerest apologies to those I hurt with my comments today. I recognize the pain and frustration my words have caused, and frustration over the GOP's lies to incite hate for trans communities. I failed to communicate my thoughts with care and clarity." So you gonna blame it on the GOP, my dear?
Yeah, like you said this.
Yeah, it's giving "if I hurt you" vibes.
Yeah.
Like, he's not saying "if I hurt your feelings," but that's reading between the lines.
And as an extremely amateur political analyst that I am, I feel like the Dems probably didn't do enough. Like, he's saying we did too much about trans people. Oh no, everyone's mad at us. And like, not everyone supports this. And I feel like in recent years across the country even, but especially in Texas, people want the Dems to go more left than they are. They want them to go further left and be more liberal and more progressive. And like, I feel like the opposite, like if they had really done everything about trans rights, maybe the outcome would have been different,
Yeah.
Well, it's just a stupid thing to say. It's like,
so
I don't
dumb.
even have an eloquent way of saying it. It's a dumb thing to say. It's like you're grasping for straws, and so you've just chosen the strangest, old manist thing that you can think of and been like, that's it. That's the reason. We're going to blame it on this. And now you got your ass handed to you. So congratulations.
Which really should have just been like, hey, this is my club. I've been in charge of this club for 12 years and we lost, and that is on me.
And that is it. Period. We lost. Let's gather. Let's, lick our little wounds.
Right.
Gather our shit and then do better next time. Like, that's it. But what you don't do is be like, God damn it, the trans people, It's their fault. Like, come on, buddy.
It's their fault and also the Republicans' fault.
And the Republicans.
No?
And they confuse me because normally I wouldn't say the truth like this. I would be more careful with my transphobia.
Exactly.
I would save that for home time.
Y'all, we're not supposed to hear that.
Yeah, we're not supposed to hear me talking about my transphobia out loud. She tricked me. Like, it's just...
tricked me.
You've been doing this for 12 years, and, one would hope that you would be better. And also one would hope that you would know how to give a real apology.
Mm-hmm. Especially like last legislative session, which was so bad for trans kids in Texas and young people. And, all signs point to this session being just as bad, if not worse. Why wouldn't it be with Republicans, basically being able to run their agenda, You know
what? Our trans community is just really, really, I feel like had a target on their back for so long.
Just seems like who's going to protect them then if it's not, and who is speaking for this community now? If it's going to be Democrats, they're going to have to work really hard to regain that trust,
And Texas Democrats have been disappointing for years, Like, that's what I hear in the streets. That's what I hear from my friends,
That's
It's
what
just
Austin's talking about.
It's like, it's just so frustrating to live in Texas and feel the way, like, Texas Dems feel. Yeah. And, like, it just feels so frustrating to not have a party. Like, I think that's why people were so excited by Beto O'Rourke back in the day. Was like, it felt like real work was happening and, like, he was really doing the thing. Whereas, like, I don't know. I feel like Texas Dems just rest on, like, well, we're not Republicans, so you should come over here.
So there's only so much room we have to operate in this state.
It's right. Like, look, hey, we're doing you a favor. We're not Republicans.
Yeah, we're not them. And
it's like, no.
So you obviously have to like us. Like,
I need you to do some work.
Yeah.
And here's just a little reminder. Largest populations of LGBTQ plus folks in America are in the Austin area. Largest populations, maybe not the largest. So
one of them for sure.
One of them for sure. So Bridget said, quote, "These aren't comments made out of frustration." She called him on his lie. "These are comments made out of unchecked transphobia. This is unacceptable leadership. Resign." And your boy announced he was resigning, effective in March.
He was like, "Yes, Bridget, I hear you."
Aye, Bridget.
I'm not saying, Bridget, but I'm saying. And you know what,
oh
y'all?
My God,
it's just
Bridget for mayor? Is that what I'm
Don't
hearing?
get me started. I'll put all my rent money on that.
We should have nominated Bridget.
It goes to show, actually, I don't even know if I would want to put her through that. But
I know.
It really goes to show how important it is to be involved in local news and politics, y'all. It is a real life example how if you stay dialed in, call people on their shit, make sure they're checked, it can make change.
Even after, it's not just voting, it's like staying engaged after that too, because this all happened in the aftermath of the election. So it's like, oh yeah, we did our duty. Nobody needs to keep watching anymore. No, not so much.
Well, Mr. Hinojosa, sorry about it.
Yeah.
Farewell. Toodaloo.
Farewell. Maybe you can take this time to be a better human. Speaking of being a better human,
oh, smart. Sorry.
After a year-long fight for equitable funding, the Austin City Council's decided to be good humans. And they finally voted yes on Thursday, November 7th, to support the Red River Cultural District in the form of a multi-year contract with the Red River Merchants Association. And so this is going to help, quote, "provide organizational stability, marketing and branding, heritage and cultural preservation, artistic and cultural productions, and economic development programming and activities in the Red River Cultural District." And it only took them a year.
Way to go, Austin.
Woo, supporting our art. I think it's because they listen to the podcast and they listen to us whining. Not whining.
Whining.
Calling them out.
I was whining.
But that has a negative connotation. It was like...
Yes. I believe Nikki's line was, "run them their money."
Yeah.
I think she said, "Austin City Council, run them their money."
Run them their money.
And Austin City Council said, "Yes, Nikki."
Yeah.
You said you were going to do it, so do it. What's it taking so long for?
Yeah.
Good point, Nikki.
4th Street through 15th Street between I-35 and Netchess is considered the Red River Cultural District. It's no official boundaries, and it's expanding. So they're receiving $150,000 to preserve. And they have it broken down into a few projects. So storytelling and history projects for $19,000, economic analysis, $15,000 go towards that. Hot Summer Nights Music and Arts Festival gets $50,000. Music Heritage and Cultural Preservation Information gets $16,000. And coming up real quick is going to be the Free Music and Arts Festival that also got $50,000. And I, for one, am super excited about Free Week because that is something that I have been going to for years. Free Week is a multi-genre, multi-venue festival that Red River Venues put on in January. And you can see all the shows for free.
Bow, bow, bow.
Well, and this year it's going to be in January. It's going to be January 3rd through 4th. And so it is technically, Nikki, when we were preparing this episode, we were like, free week. And then she was like, it's a weekend. But either way, still 2 days of fun programming. And I feel like it'll be the perfect thing to go to right off of the holidays.
Is this new?
Free Week?
Because they've been doing Hot Summer Nights, which is Free Week in July, or are they totally different? What's the breakdown of Free Week?
Free Week is not new. Here's what makes me maybe a not great Austinite. I've never heard of Hot Summer Nights Music and Arts Festival. I've always remembered Free Week as being January. Like, first 2 weeks in January, Free Week. You get on Red River and you go see some free stuff. So I don't know how I've been missing the Hot Summer Nights in July. I don't know how I've been missing that. So I don't have an answer.
Well, it's too hot outside. So
did it used to be a week and now it's just the weekend?
It used to definitely be a week.
Oh, okay.
But, to that point, you can only do so much for $50,000. So I understand why they had to move it. I mean, I don't know if this is the first year they bumped it down to a weekend, but if it is, I understand why they had to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the important thing is that the Austin City Council finally put their money where their mouth is, and I'm excited about that. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with Ham Day. It's like, once again, musicians are like, hi, hello, here's our art for free. This is our love letter to the city. This is our art for free, right? The least we can do is then give them their money.
Yeah. I mean, we talk a lot about the loss of venues, and I think like that Alex Hannaford interview was all about how Austin's changed. And so this KView story about the money says that, the cultural district has music roots back as far as the 70s. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Janis Joplin played at spaces in the Red River Cultural District. So being able to hold on to one part of that culture, I think is just super important. So good job.
I have a question though. How do y'all feel about this idea of Austin having live music everywhere for free, even if it's for a weekend? Do you think that it in some ways runs the risk of perpetuating the expectation of not having to pay to see music? Or do you think it's more like just a quick little love letter from musicians in Red River to the city?
I think it can be both. Because I feel like, people expect a lot of things to be free.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel that if you get out and go to this free thing, you could find an artist that you love, and then you can start following them around town and paying to see them. And so I feel like it can be beneficial in that way.
I love that. I love that. I'm on the fence, right? I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, that's really wonderful. Part of me is like, y'all don't deserve that shit. Nobody gets nothing for free. Pay musicians.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. I'm waffling on it a little bit.
Me too. I feel that too. It's like I want the musicians to get paid. I don't want to see, and Ham Day is so amazing too, with musicians everywhere playing for free, but it's like, okay, that shouldn't be the norm. We should be used to paying for, paying covers, donate. If you are watching a show for free, definitely be donating, putting money in that tip bucket or the, cup or whatever is being passed.
For the love of God, tip, please.
Yeah.
What are y'all favorite places on Red River? Y'all got any favorite places? I personally love of course, Cheer Ups, because duh, Cheer Ups. I really love Valhalla too, which feels like it might be counterintuitive to me because it's technically a metal bar, but I really love Valhalla, and I told y'all last time for South by, I love the 13th floor, and
I love can Empire count? I know it's kind of on the
Empire
side.
absolutely
Yeah,
counts.
I really love Empire. I love kind of anytime I go to Barbarella, I love popping into Swan Dive and see what's happening in there.
Oh, Swan Dive has some good stuff too. Yeah.
And so they always have something fun happening in there.
Yeah. Mine is still Stubbs.
Oh, yeah. Our people.
Stubbs. It's gotta be.
Yeah,
I know I say
Stubbs.
Stubbs is my favorite for everything still, but yeah, magical venue for seeing
Stubbs.
concert. Just magical.
And Esther Follies, shout out to Esther Follies, has been doing it forever. So, we say all that to say, y'all, there is just like a butt ton of really cool stuff on Red River. I'm sure there's a better metric but butt ton is what I'm using right now. There's a butt ton of stuff that you can do and see. It's a little bit of everything for everybody, and also Free Weekend is coming up.
Free week.
It's so cute on their little logo. It's like free week, and then in parentheses end on the side, which I think is very cute.
And you know what else is coming to an end? What else is coming to an end is local conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's everything. So for those who are lucky enough to not know this, Alex Jones does in fact live in Austin. He was in charge of InfoWars, which is literally, I don't know what else to call it other than a conspiracy theory website. Terrible place, brainwashes people, very bad. He's a bad man. I saw him at Barton Springs one time. He's around. But so InfoWars, he's been having to auction off everything in his life because he was sued for defamation. I don't remember what year this was, but by Sandy Hook families, families whose kids died in the 2012 Sandy Hook elementary school shooting. And those kids were 5 and 6 years old. And Alex Jones was wandering around saying that was fake, that didn't happen, that those kids were actors and blah, blah, blah. Truly the scum of the earth.
There's a lot of effing around and find it out right now.
This is the theme of the show today.
Yes. Well, but so the Sandy Hook families won in 2022. They won a $1.4 billion defamation lawsuit against him and his company. And his company is called Free Speech Systems.
Billion with a B?
Billion with a B.
Come through, yes.
Nice job.
So I feel like in the past 6 months or so, there have been stories coming out about him having to liquidate everything and sell everything to pay back this huge sum of money that these families obviously deserve. And so something really fun happened this week. InfoWars was up for auction and The Onion won the auction. So if you don't know what The Onion is, it's a satirical publication.
And they're so spot on. There's so many headlines. I mean, that you read and you're like, okay, is this real? And there's even I've seen this hashtag before on social media, not the Onion.
Oh yeah,
when there's stories that are just so crazy that you're like, okay, this must be an Onion story.
Well, or The Onion, they are known for the headline that they put out every time there's a mass shooting in America, where they put out the same story every time, and it says, "Can't believe this happened," says Only Nation where this happens, or something like that. Can't believe this has happened again, says Only Nation that allows this to happen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so they do funny hot takes on politics and the news and all this stuff. Yeah, they call everybody out for their shit. But so this is their plan for InfoWars. And this is according to the New York Times. They plan to reintroduce InfoWars in January as a parody of itself, mocking, quote, weird internet personalities like Alex Jones who traffic in misinformation and health supplements.
Nice.
And so that's really exciting. I'm very happy that evil, I don't know, I always hated that he lived here and that InfoWars was happening here, and he's really gross.
He's so angry.
So angry.
He's so gross. He is, Alex Jones for me and I might get in trouble for saying this, he's like racism personified to me. It's like a screaming white man with a red face that's like slightly looks unhealthy, like he might drop dead at any moment, just like yelling and screaming terrible, terrible things. He just looks like rottenness personified. Every time I see a video of him, just rotten. You know what I mean? Just like rottenness.
That is a great word. That is a perfect word for him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine taking it upon yourself to criticize families whose kids were just killed while they were in kindergarten or first grade?
There was this time, I don't know if y'all remember this because everything was a haze back then, in June of 2020, that Alex Jones led an anti-mask protest at the Capitol. So this was like peak COVID.
It was actually peak protest.
Like super peak. It was record-breaking spike in positive COVID cases in Travis County. And he had like 150 people unmasked following him around in his
wasn't he
I don't know if it's like a Humvee or
like an army vehicle?
Some kind of armored vehicle.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just like instigating. He's such an instigator, and it was scary. Like the misinformation coming out of that time was also very scary, and the InfoWars was like propagating some of it, like whether it was about Sandy Hook being fake or different mass shootings being actors. So like it just feels a little bit more comforting, like knowing that we won't have to be countering that quote unquote news outlet.
Right.
And y'all are journalists. Like, what has it been like having to write about this fool?
Well, literally, days before we went into quarantine, March 10th, 2020, I wrote a story about him because he was charged with DWI. And this is when I worked at the Austin American-Statesman, and the Statesman, we like broke this story, and there was a disturbance with him and his wife. And there was like a verbal fight, and he left, and he had been drinking and all this stuff. He gets arrested. We like have his mugshot. And because of who he is, we're obviously going to write about that. Wrote about it, put it up. And the amount of crazy people who were like in my Twitter mentions, who were in my email, I had to like mute everything and like turn everything off because everyone was just being rude and how could you write about this and like who cares and blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God.
But I will say, outside of all of that pestering, it feels good every time I write about him because I get to call him, like I get to say what he is out loud.
Exactly.
I'm not allowed to have an opinion on people, but like he is our local conspiracy theorist. Like that is a fact. And it feels
such a unifier. We can all unite behind this fact.
And it feels so nice just to be like, local conspiracy theorist is losing his business because he was mean to families. Like, yes, get him.
Yeah.
Facts.
Run those families their money, Alex.
Yes. Oh, God.
Give them their money.
And what a great time to like just be able to laugh about stuff too. I mean, I think that, you know, when stuff gets so serious, the Onion can be very helpful. So it's karma, maybe? I don't know.
You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to the subsect of people that don't know this information that come January are going to be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's
this
going
is
on?
my news source.
What's happening? Have we lost Alex? That's what I'm kind of
oh my gosh, if they like keep all the branding and everything just exactly the same so you can't even...
Well, and I hope,
gosh.
I'm excited for at least hopefully one person listening to this podcast doesn't know this information, hopefully, and they get to be delighted that we've shared this news and they are delighted. So I hope that's you.
Yeah. So, you know, after the holidays are over, after you've gotten, you know, you've spent all this time with your families and they've been stressing you out, you have something to look forward to.
There we go.
In January. New InfoWars, as, you know, directed by The Onion, and Free Week end.
Yeah.
There is a lot of stuff happening this weekend. This is my favorite time of the year, y'all, because I think that Austin I don't know if it's on purpose, but I think that it's like, since it's cooling down, everybody's like, do this. Here's something.
Yes.
Here's an event. Go do this. Look at this. Come on. It's like, because now it's not so oppressively hot. And so everybody is just wanting to be in these streets. What are some of the things y'all are getting into?
So I'm going to one of my favorite Austin events that I go to every year, which is Creek Show. And that happens over on Waller Creek and at Waterloo Greenway at the Moody Amphitheater. And if you don't know what it is, so you walk along Waller Creek downtown, and I think it's maybe a mile, maybe less than that. And along the creek every year, they have these like light installations from local artists and local architecture firms. And they're really freaking cool. They're always like really, really fun and beautiful and special. Yeah. Like I remember one year there was an installation that was made with like plastic bottles that had been found in Waller Creek.
Yep.
And they're just like really fun, and it just feels like a fun way to like kick off the holidays. And it's only $6 to go. And today and tomorrow are the last days to go, so you should definitely get out there. And something fun that they're doing tonight, it's called, tonight's like theme is Vodka for Dog People Night. And like Tito's Vodka is going to be there doing stuff, and you can bring your friendly leash dogs tonight. And so that's really exciting, because after you're done with all the light installations, it drops you off at Moody Amphitheater, and like you can hang out. It's open from 6 to 10, and you hang out, and there's like food and beverages for sale. There's vendors, there's games. It's like great for kids. It's great if you're 31 and you don't have kids. It's like a really good time. And tomorrow night is Small Biz Saturday is the theme, and they're going to be doing a partnership with Future Front Texas, and all of the vendors tomorrow night are going to be showcasing women and LGBTQ plus creatives, designers, makers, artists. And so, yeah, I'm really excited.
I can't believe, y'all, that this is their 10th anniversary. I can't believe
Some
that.
years it's been so good.
Yeah.
There's certain installations that I just, like the Ghost Boat.
Yes.
That was my favorite, where it was like I don't know how it works. There were paddles. It was in the water.
There was
and
stuff
the paddles
happening.
were rowing themselves, and there was also light involved.
Oh.
Do y'all remember that one?
I think there was one last year. Did y'all go? I think it was last year. The pants.
Yes.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh, I loved those pants.
Yes. I love the pants. I did love the
pants.
pants.
Were
Last
so
year.
cool.
I think a couple years ago I went when they moved it, and I was like,
yeah,
it was a little bit not great that first year.
Yeah.
It like, I mean, the previous location was just like these grandiose installations, like huge things. And then I feel like when they moved it that first year, it was really scaled down. So last year I was like, yeah, I'm going to let them figure this out again. But it looks really good again.
I like that you're like,
grumbling to myself.
No, I liked it.
But I wish, I did not plan correctly to get to the Creek Show this year. I'm regretting that. But I did plan ahead for something this weekend, which I'm really excited about, is seeing Chelsea Handler on Sunday at ACL Live.
Hey.
She is my fairy childless godmother.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, her just, I love what she says. Like, she's so real and so funny and so just honest. I really like her sense of humor. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've actually never seen like a stand-up show at ACL Live. So I've only been there for music.
Oh, I haven't either.
So I'm like, I don't know.
Me
Is there going to be
neither.
an intermission? I don't know how that works, but I'm excited.
So this weekend I have Friday. My Friday is wrapped up with a soup party, and I don't know. Maybe you guys can all
Soup.
write in and explain to me what is happening with all these soup parties. I have like 2 soup parties to go to, and I do not know what's happening.
Hey, man, don't complain. I have no soup parties.
That's fair. That's
No
fair.
soup parties
That's
for
fair.
you.
No soup. I guess I'm just not a soup person. I'm still excited, but
It is still hot.
It is
but
Yeah, it's hot.
I'm going for the camaraderie and not the soup. But anyway, so that's what my Friday is filled with. But Saturday, the 16th, is the Austin Mimosa Walk. And it's like the South First Street Fall Festival. They're calling it a shop and sip. So it showcases local shops and cafes and wellness boutiques and food trucks. It's a little pricey. It's like $32. It's from 12 to 3. Check in. You get a mimosa glass, a map, and a wristband. And it's a self-guided tour. And you get a mimosa at every stop. A complimentary mimosa at every stop. So
I feel like you're going to be buying a lot of things.
I know. This is, lubricated shoppers are the best.
Listen, it is a very smart event. And it's very smart. Because as soon as I heard about it, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm absolutely doing that. Give me my glass. Yes, I am. Yes. Check-in tent is located at 1628 South First Street. And so you show up, you give them your pay, get your glass, and start shopping and drinking. So that's what I'll be doing on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm doing the same thing I do every second Sunday, and that is Legendary Drag Brunch at the Brutorium, 12 to 4, market featuring handmade goods from BIPOC and queer artists, brunch specials, drag, shopping. My weekend is going to be full of shopping. Shopping and soup is what I'm going to be doing.
Sounds perfect.
Shopping and soup.
Shopping and soup.
I love that.
Speaking of shopping, I have your Don't Go Gently tip for the weekend.
Perfect.
So before we go, we've got a Don't Go Gently tip for you. Your Don't Go Gently tip for this weekend is to kickstart your holiday shopping at the Blue Genie Art Bazaar that opens today. Shoppers can find unique handmade gifts at the store at 6100 Airport Boulevard, which is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., y'all, through December 24th. And inside, you'll find hundreds of things to buy for the loved ones on your list, all made by Austin artisans. Plus, you might find a little treat for yourself, too. You might not get a glass of mimosa, but you can get a bunch of wonderful things, and so you should do it.
Awesome.
Appreciate that silence, y'all. Thank you so much.
I gave you an awesome. Wow, that's amazing. I can't wait to go to Blue Genie Art Bazaar. You did such a good job saying
I'm
that tip.
a blue genie in a bottle.
Kelsey and Eva Ruth are always just leaving me on red, but in real time. I'll say something, and then it's just like, brr, brr. It's just crickets. And I'm like, nope, just me. All right.
That was a good cricket sound.
Thanks. Okay, so thanks for rounding up the news with me this week. It's always a blast. Thanks, Kelsey. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Eva Ruth.
The crickets. Thank you, crickets. Thanks, Nikki.
God.
Thank you. Bye.
Happy Friday.
Bye, y'all. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. Our executive producer is Eva Ruth Moravec. Our producers this week are Rishi Bajeko and Anthony Luciani. Thanks to Noah Snyderman and Natalie Rivera. I'm your host, Nikki Devon. Our Hey Austin newsletter editor is Kelsey Bradshaw. Music is by Nelson Valente Aguilar of Como Las Movies. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.